$365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365. 365, we be outside. 365, 365, baby, we grind. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love today. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. We be outside. 365. 365, baby, we grind.
Pitching. Man, I've been pitching. Gotta understand the vision. Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for some likes, but don't get no mentions. All my life I had to fight for all 4 inches. Said I stack up, gotta stack up, get my racks up, back up, better back up, keep that thing tucked, act up. If he act up, we gon' all rush 40 cal with the 50 round drum. Yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beach, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they scared of us.
We grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. We grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. 365, 365, baby, we grind. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love today. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. Baby, we grind. 365, 365. We be outside. 365, 365. Baby, we grind.
Pitching. Man, I've been pitching. Gotta understand the vision. Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for some likes, but don't get no mentions. All my life I had to fight for all 4 inches. Said I stack up, gotta stack up, get my racks up, back up, better back up, keep that thing tucked, act up. If he act up, we gon' all rush. 40 cal with the 50 round drum, yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beats, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they scared of us.
We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. 365, 365. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love today. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. We be outside. 365, 365. Maybe we ride.
Pitching. Man, I've been pitching. Gotta understand the vision. Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for some likes, but don't get no mentions. All my life I had to fight for all 4 inches. Said I stack up, gotta stack up, get my racks up, back up, better back up, keep that thing tucked, act up. If he act up, we gon' all rush. 40 cal with the 50 round drum, yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beats, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they.
Let's get it. Transition. What's good? How y'all feeling? Hope everybody feeling good. Hope everybody feeling great. You dig? It's Saturday night. You know what I'm saying? And we here. You dig? So, hey yo. Like I say, if you ain't here, appreciate you. We doing different stuff, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, this is also edutainment as well. This is the edutainment gaming channel, you dig? So, you know, we gonna talk shit sometimes, but we also gonna educate as well, you feel me? So, y'all sit back, enjoy. This course, y'all gonna probably hear some ads in between this stuff, but, you know what I'm saying? We gonna get some games in, and we also gonna get this Billy Carson situation going, you dig? Let's get right to it. And if you're a gamer,
tax liens are very simple.
Please go ahead and drop your gamer tags, you dig? I already started FYI, y'all. So.
We had nothing to do with masonry, but that's what, they rented the hall out to make money. But the people that generally typically go there, they have no real knowledge of the real.
Please drop comments too.
Goes back into the ancient past. A lot of the cities, even the city I grew up in, has these Freemason halls where it's just like a place to congregate, hang out, have a barbecue, pick up women, dance. There's no real true deep knowledge being translated at a lot of these places. Okay. There's only a very small, and I do mean small amount of people that really house and hold the true knowledge of the ancient past as the top level Freemasons.
When did this start?
Yeah, this goes all the way back to deep antiquity. We're talking about 30,000 plus years ago. There were these brick masons in ancient Kemet called the Shatu. After the Great Flood, Amun-Ra, aka Marduk, he's known as Marduk in the Bible, M-A-R-D-U-K. Some people say Marduk, depending on how you want to pronounce his name. He's also in the Jewish Torah as well. In Kemet, he was known as Amun-Ra. This is why people say Amen, actually. It's to him. He actually made it a rule, a law. But he had these brick masons helping him rebuild the land of Kem. And these brick masons had the secret knowledge of space flight, technologies, how to turn stone structures into advanced computer housing, data storage devices, as well as power generators and many other functions. A lot of the stone structures that were built were actually multifunctional stone computers. If you're going to a place where you only have limited resources, that you can't take a factory and a whole bunch of workers with you, what do? You learn how to work with what's there. And they mastered stone masonry, but they also encoded and embedded a lot of the wisdom and knowledge from the ancient Egyptian mysteries and the Kemetic mysteries into the structures. Now, these Freemasons were called Shattu. As a matter of fact, the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape. In the last, there was a pyramid war. There were 2 pyramid wars. The second pyramid war in the tablets talks about the fact that the Shattu helped Amun-Ra escape through a hidden passage in one of the pyramids. And before he left, he decreed that he
Make sure y'all drop in the comments when y'all come up in here, y'all.
Ra-Kam, K-A-M, translates now into shield.
3 and 22?
Shield, Ra shield. Over time, it became Rothschilds. And so this decree came down tens of thousands of years ago. Who's the richest family on the planet, worth $700 trillion combined income?
Let me know if that's too loud, too, y'all.
It still is happening to this very, very day. And this masonry is part of the mysteries, the mystery schools. Only adept initiates, hand-picked people would get to learn this sacred knowledge. And then the Masons would actually encode it into structures and buildings, which is encoded all throughout the world, throughout Rome at the Vatican, all throughout Europe, all throughout like areas like in Bosnia, believe it or not, where you have the Pyramid of the Sun there in the Bosnian Valley.
How would they pick who gets the knowledge?
They literally had a system in which they can identify people who they called adept initiates, people who seem to have some type of ability to perceive things at a higher level, or retain knowledge at a higher level, or display some type of talent, or ability. And those people were literally handpicked. Yeshua, aka Jesus, was one of these students as well. If you look at read the Gospel of the Holy 12, you'll find that when he disappeared from the Bible, where did he go? He went to Egypt. I've taken many people to the actual bed that he slept in, which is still there in Egypt. It's a shrine now. And he was there learning the Egyptian mysteries. And this is well known, well documented. I mean, that was an apocryphal text that was left out of the Bible. He left there and went to Tibet to learn Reiki healing and Qigong and energy healing with his hands. And came down through India, learned the mystic arts. And then the Bible picks up at the age of 32, I called my son out of Egypt. That's what the Bible says. And he ends up riding it on the back of a donkey back in Jerusalem. So that's the loop that's missing out of there, 12 to 32. That chunk is missing out in the Gospel of the Holy 12. Again, he also had the Mason knowledge. Now, the thing about knowledge is it can be used for good or it can be used for evil. You see? Knowledge is just knowledge. If you have a gun and I have a car, and you're trained on how to use a gun appropriately, which you are, right? Mm-hmm. Well, you know how to use it, when to use it. Because your mind is clear, you're not going to use it on anybody just because you want to. You're actually trained to hit enemy targets or to save civilians, right? Don't shoot civilians. I have a car. I have no training. I'm using ignorant knowledge, and I'm just angry. I can take my car and I can kill people just by driving my car right down the sidewalk. I can wipe out a ton of people. And you could be walking on that same sidewalk with a gun, and you kill nobody. But you have the knowledge, and I don't. So just a little bit of a metaphor there. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to do with the knowledge. It has to do with how it's applied. And so a lot of people have taken ancient wisdom and ancient knowledge when they discovered how powerful it was and how it could control masses of people and allow you to supersede them economically and everything else. And they decided to use it for darkness, for negativity, for power-hungry type struggles and so forth. And so we have a situation where, unfortunately, a lot of these secret societies, Skull and Crossbones and Illuminati and all these things that exist, they all stem from ancient mysteries.
Oh, it was quick, y'all.
And developed into these subordinate dark entities that are now running the planet. With Thoth from the Emerald Tablets, he calls them the Dark Brothers.
Okay.
But all these people were Masons.
Interesting. So they're not good guys.
For the most part, not that good. Now, there are some that I actually personally know that are actually great people.
Okay.
Again, yin and yang, good and evil, exist throughout the entire universe. It permeates everything. Some people actually utilize it for the knowledge and the wisdom that it is and have kept it as secret and sacred knowledge. Some people that utilize it to find a way to put their boot on other people's necks, unfortunately. But that's just the universe we live in. There's this dichotomy of good and evil everywhere. But the ultimate force behind the highest level of Mason knowledge has to do with reclaiming our birthright to space travel. You see, in the ancient tablets, there was a situation where the Atlantean civilization had spread around the entire planet. Atlantis was built by these Anunnaki people, according to the ancient tablets, not according to me. And these families had factions, and they were fighting each other. They went to war against each other many times. And in one case, this one faction or one side of the family came against another, and because they lost the battle, they were banished to be locked and stayed pretty much on Earth, and never to achieve space travel again. And so they were the original founders of this knowledge of masonry, to hide the knowledge of space travel and advanced knowledge and wisdom and physics and everything else into stone buildings and stone structures. Over time, we have slowly regained our right to get back into space, and we now have done it. Obviously, in the last 100 years, we went from a horse, buggy, and carriage to putting remote control cars on Mars. We even have Voyager 1 and 2, which are about to head into interstellar space. So what does that mean? We found it out. In Florida, there's only one runway at the Space Coast. It's runway number 33. Why 33? It's a Mason symbol. Why 33 Mason symbol? Well, in order to travel in space, in order to break Earth's gravity,
that shit ain't happening at all, y'all. Drop some comments when y'all come in here, man. You did. This is Billy Carson right now talking.
Or you will not get there. You see? Anything less, you fall back. You'll stall out and you'll actually crash. 33 times the speed of sound is required to get into space. And the whole thing behind why the number 33, it's all about reclaiming the birthright to be able to become a spacefaring race again.
Interesting.
The fuck was that play?
Let's move into, actually, what are these ancient tablets? What caught your interest at the beginning? Why'd you start studying them?
Well, I had an experience when I was younger as a kid, which is, I'll cut the story short, but I had an experience in my backyard. I lived near a private airport, and I used to watch the airplanes go over my house. And this one day, this object went across the horizon that cleared the horizon in seconds, not minutes. And I knew that it wasn't a plane. It didn't have a
How did we know what he was going to do?
It didn't have tail fin, none of that stuff. And it was completely silent, and it was like a silver glowing metal. Then it came back much lower, and then it stopped.
And he quit.
Dead smack over about now 200 meters, I can estimate now as a grown man. And then it went out the way it came in. And I went from that point. That's why I got into aerospace, research. I started getting all the Encyclopedia Britannicas, because this is back in 1977, on aerospace. Started studying from then, trying to find what I saw. Long story short, that led me into a whole nother.
I know y'all saw that, right?
Got me into ancient civilizations.
Quick, it was a quickie.
Then I started seeing that these ancient civilizations were utilizing high technology, and I've been studying high tech. Well, how in the world did they have high tech back then? And my mother told me that in ancient times, there were people that were way more advanced than us on this planet that had everything you could possibly think of. She said they had the ability to fly from planet to planet. They lived on top of mountains. And everything she told me in the 70s, I started finding in these ancient texts. So the texts are the Enuma Elish and the Seven Tablets of Creation, the Atrahasis epic, the Code of Hammurabi, the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is the full and true story of Noah's Ark. Noah is actually Zuzudra from the Sumerian tales. Later his name was converted into Noah. And then you have there's so many tablets. I mean, there's just so many incredible tablets that are out there. Also, like from the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita, the Indian Vedas, which is a vast amount of wisdom and knowledge right there. The Mahabharata.
I am not about to play the same team.
It's all been translated already. And there's just so many other tablets that exist that you can get your hands on, and they're all translated. They've been translated since the 1800s. People think this Zechariah Sitchin was the only person that could translate tablets, and now he's dead, and he made it all up. No, he used existing translations, and he even gives you his sources in the back of all his books. He didn't translate anything. You can go to the UCLA CDLI online cuneiform digital library. Say that fast 4 times, and you can drop virtual tablets into the translator and read them for yourself.
No kidding.
Yes. So everyone can read these tablets. You don't have to be a special expert like Billy Carson. Now everyone can read what's on these tablets and make up their own educated decision on what they believe happened in the ancient past. And what did happen, now with hundreds of authors writing about them, including myself, at some point in the ancient past, a race of people seemed to have landed on this planet, began to develop this planet as a breakaway civilization, and at some point engaged mankind. See, they didn't create us. We were already here. They talk about the fact in the epic of, in the Enuma Elish and the Atrahasis epic, they talk about, in two separate writings, by the way, that there was a being here, and they wanted to get us to do the work for them, so they did something where they called adding their essence to us.
How the fuck everybody? What the fuck going on?
Sorts. Maybe our junk DNA is what they unplugged. But whatever it was, we ended up going to work for these people, and they found the first gold mine in exactly where it says on the tablets at Adam's Calendar in South Africa, and it's been dated now to 200,000 years old. Right when the tablet said the first gold mine happened, and people started working under the tutelage of these people. So it's pretty interesting stuff. And so these tablets, they pretty much encompass a lot of religious books, Quran, the Bible, a lot of Buddhist beliefs, pretty much almost every religion that exists. A lot of the roots come from these ancient tablets. Even the whole creation of our solar system is in the Enuma Elish and the 7 tablets of creation, which matches perfectly to astrophysics books at universities. Think about that. We're talking about text that goes back tens of thousands of years. How can they be accurate down to science? Talking about orbits, gravitational pulls, planets being captured by gravitational fields in the beginning stages of the creation of the solar system, because of the gravity being captured and thrown towards our sun and colliding with other planets, creating debris. I mean, the whole thing is right there, and you can almost watch a National Geographic Discovery, series on it, and they'll tell you the same exact thing. It's all based on real science. They talk about orbits changing and shifting, how Neptune and Saturn shifted orbits, which is
we always take our 3, y'all. Take your 3.
How'd they know this? So all this knowledge is in these ancient tablets, and so I go to them because they're as close to the truth as we're possibly gonna get.
And we're going to get 4 right here.
You're not going to get to the truth.
We better get like 4 right here, watch.
But, man, there's so much information in there that matches up with real science, which is what I wrote in my blog. It's crazy how accurate it is, and that's why I go to the tablets first, because everything else to me is newer, and that's as ancient as you can get. I mean, the animal tablets are 36,000 years old, and that's like one of the oldest accounts of the Great Flood in history. It opens up talking about the flood, and how the temples were coming out of the mud, and people were coming out of the caves.
That was beautiful.
And that the hairy barbarians were there. In other words, they were at a high level of civilization prior to this flood, and so many generations had gone by, they had turned back into just basically, hunter-gatherers almost again. And Thoth talks about his father sending him there, and he gets in a ship and flies up into the sky until the earth disappears. And when he gets to the place appointed, he descends down
I should have pushed
on the land
A.
of Chem. That's Egypt.
I pushed X.
Egypt. And he tells the people that he's going to help them rebuild civilization.
Quick 4 now. That shit's crazy.
Which means there already was a high-level golden age, probably before this great flood. So these texts, man, they're just incredible. They have so much information in them. It's well worth taking a look at.
Yeah, definitely. Let's talk about ancient Egypt. I've been looking into talking to Dr. Greer, we talk a lot about zero-point energy. I've been looking into zero-point energy, free energy. I've been researching it.
Yeah.
Looking into the Nikola Tesla stuff, and it sounds like Nikola Tesla got his information somehow from ancient Egypt. A lot of people say that the pyramids were some type of a power plant.
Yes. Not all the pyramids, some of them. So some pyramids have different functions, right? So the Great Pyramid at Giza, for sure, a wireless power plant. Amongst other things, it was a multifunctional stone computer and a wireless power plant. It was also a communications device. So you look at old images or old pictures of the Great Pyramid area at Giza, you'll see that the Nile used to run right up alongside of those pyramids. Now it's meandered miles and miles away. One of the main reasons why they don't want you to know is there was an ancient war. That second war I told you about.
Take your 3.
There's glass in the sands at the Giza Plateau. When you dig your hand in the sand, you pull up balls of glass. That's 3,000 degrees to create glass out of sand. That's weapons fire. There's still evidence of weapons fired on the Vent Pyramid right out there at Giza as well, which I've documented many times.
All right,
My new TV show.
we good.
But nonetheless, the water would run underneath in these gigantic aquifers. The tubes for those aquifers are still there. You know, sometimes I've gone down in and kids play around in them and everything. But when you have running water underneath magnetized crystal granite, which is what the base is made out of, you create something called static electricity. Then those ions rush up into the Grand Gallery area, and there were these resonating rods going up the Grand Gallery to the King's Chamber. Now the rods are gone, but the slots where the rods sat are still there. They can't take out the slots. The slots are embedded in the stone. Then also, when it got into the King's Chamber, he's surrounded by thousands of tons of magnetized crystal granite in this specialized box with a 2-to-1 ratio. Now, at some point, something happened where they had to install this extra box. It's a granite box that's inside the King's Chamber. People were saying, "Oh, this is a sarcophagus." I can't even lay in that thing. My knees have to be bent. It's not a sarcophagus. What it is, it's the same exact dimensions as the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark of the Covenant was a power plant device. We know this based on the descriptions in the Bible. And it's been replicated at 2 different universities by 2 different people, and it generated so much power they had to shut it down, just based on the biblical information and instructions. When you take those measurements, it fits directly inside that box. And why did it fit in the box? Because the pyramid at some point had lost its ability to generate the maximum amount of power. And so that was needed to add an extra piece to fix the problem. And that's exactly what they did. Then the energy would shoot up through the apex. The obelisks are all made of crystal granite.
What do you mean the obelisk? What is that?
Those giant stones that stand up with the points at the top?
Okay.
Those are obelisks.
Okay.
They're all around the region. We have one at the White House, right? You know, we have one in Rome in the center courtyard there. They took them and put them all around. The one in Washington is obviously it's man-made, but the other ones all around the world are all come out of Egypt. But what's interesting is those obelisks, they capture the ambient electricity from the atmosphere. And then if you have something called a JED, it looks like a Tesla coil. I'll send you some photos of this stuff so you can utilize it. It looks like a Tesla coil, and it's all over Egypt. Everywhere you look in hieroglyphs, it's everywhere. And they have cables coming out of them, electric cables. They were connected to their electroplating devices, and anything else they needed, light bulbs, anything that needed electricity was connected to the JED. The JED would capture the ambient electricity from the obelisk. The obelisks were like electric wire poles in your neighborhood, basically, but just doing it all wirelessly. And by that method, they were able to transmit the wireless energy all around the region. And the JEDs would capture that energy, and they can power whatever they wanted. And so now what's also interesting about the Great Pyramid, a small amount of that water would be pushed up into the pyramid and down into the Queen's Chamber. Now the Queen's Chamber, when you analyze it and look at it and look at the x-rays of it, you discover something interesting. It operates like an electrolysis machine. Why electrolysis? If you use electrolysis with running water, you can extract the hydrogen atoms out of the water, which is what we do in different types of engines that we have right now. The Navy has a ship that never has to come back for gas because it just takes the water from the ocean, extracts the hydrogen atoms, and pushes it into a chamber for engine combustion, and they run on hydrogen. They don't run on gas anymore. Matter of fact, that's the wave of the new future. We have Rolls-Royce developed an airplane engine that runs on hydrogen, and all the cars, including all the EVs, are going to go in the garbage can. All cars are going to be hydrogen-based in the next 10 years. Mark my word. Remember today. So what they were doing, though, they were utilizing for what astrophysicists use it for, communication. Astrophysicists communicate and send information out into space to connect with ET or talk to ET on the hydrogen frequency, the most abundant frequency in the universe. Now, when you look at the Great Pyramid, it's got these giant shafts on the side that align with Orion, Aldebaran, Arcturus, and all these other star systems on specific time frames, Sirius. And so what's happening is on specific alignments, they were transmitting on the hydrogen frequency updates, in my opinion, this is not my own hypothesis, updates to those star systems. Because why have those shafts pointed at star systems, and why have them have the capability of shooting hydrogen through those shafts? To me, it's a communications device, the same way we're using right now today in modern
we was about to pick that one.
What are we using?
We about to pick that one.
We take the hydrogen frequency, and we piggyback our data, zeros and ones, on it, and we send it out into space. And looking and hoping that another race of beings, I think that they already know who they're sending it to, and they're just saying, we're hoping. I think they're communicating, but that's a whole other podcast. But sending it out into space, that another race of people can pick it up and then decode the zeros and ones and decode the message basically, and then transmit the information back on the same frequency.
What makes you think that they've already made communications?
Well, to me, just based on the advancement in sciences and what looks and appears to be of NASA as a front, the fake space agency, in other words, doing all the things that are already done in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s, and still utilizing those same techniques today, knowing that we know that they're 300 years ahead of us technologically. They meaning the private corporations. Well, why aren't we seeing any of that tech being used? So I just believe that, and I know this 300 years ahead from my private meetings. So I have a tech company called First Class Space Agency. And I was privy to a TS clearance for private space meetings at the Space Symposium in Colorado a few years ago. And in this room, I'm sitting there with some of the top tech companies in the world in space, travel, and also ancillary parts for space, like, radiation hardened computer circuits and everything else. And they're all talking about how advanced, they are. And the number is 300 years ahead of the
He didn't mean to do that play.
So if they're 300 years of the general population, 300 years ahead,
and he
then
quit.
What in the world are we doing with chemical rockets going up into space and all this kind of crazy stuff? Mm-hmm. So to me, when they say that they're communicating, I say, let me extrapolate a little bit more. They're trying to communicate. Let me extrapolate. You are communicating. It's just my
Billy Carson right here, y'all. Billy Carson.
There's something going on. They've probably made some kind of a type of contact at some point because they keep transmitting nonstop, up and down, nonstop. There's even a dish on the moon that we transmit via laser information to every single week. Who are we talking to on the moon? This has been going on for decades. Why are we doing this? So you got to pay.
We 2-0 so far, y'all. 2-0.
So there's a reason for this. So my hypothesis is that they may be communicating with somebody.
Oh, so the person that we played first, this was his record, or her record.
Power generation.
185 and 206.
Things you can calculate based on the base size of the pyramid and the height and the size of most of the stones average.
We're going to find out what the record was of the last person we was playing.
The distance of the Earth to the moon, the distance of the Earth to the sun. You can calculate the speed of the Earth on its own axis.
Hold on. How can you calculate all this?
Well, when I have all these calculations broken down, which have been analyzed by college professors, and they're blown away.
Hey, 100 games, boy. We on 100 game, 113. Let's go.
How to times and square all these numbers to come up with these calculations. You can calculate the tropical year, the sidereal year. You can calculate the speed of the Earth around the sun, the speed of the sun around the Milky Way. You can even calculate the speed of the Milky Way around the local cluster of galaxies that are out there. All this can be calculated by the construction. This is the brick masonry. This is the Freemasonry encoded into the Great Pyramid. This is the Mason information. It's all about astrophysics. It's all in there. It's all built into the pyramid, all in the construction process. Now think about that knowledge you have to have. You have to say, I want to have this, and this, and this, and I want to have it all built into the construction. Let me input this into my whatever kind of computer program they utilize to do this, and then it spits out this blueprint, and they build it according to that blueprint, so that all this information is encoded in it at the same time it's being built.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. When it comes to, you had mentioned a little bit earlier that you think that all vehicles are going to go to hydrocarbon.
Oh yeah, hydrogen.
Right. Hydrogen, excuse me.
The hydrogen atoms, yes.
Somebody already developed this.
Yeah.
And Dan Meyer here.
Dan Meyer.
So I can take all these trips because Priceline has all these amazing
Told y'all,
deals.
bro, about these damn ads. It's crazy. Crazy. Guess everybody got to make their money, right?
Dan Meyer in the night. I remember watching that commercial live on TV as it aired on the news station, standing right next to my mom. But he drove this little buggy he built, runs a run on water. You can go from New York to California on 1 gallon of gas. He said you can piss in it, you can spit in it, you can put snow in it. This guy was going in. And I was so amazed. I was like, this is crazy. This is incredible. Of course, he went to a restaurant where he met with some Pentagon officials, and then he ran outside and screamed, they poisoned me, and he died right there, right in front of his brother. And
This
so
could
at
be
the
a
time,
touchdown,
we wanted
y'all.
to do away with it. We got to a point now where the world is fed up and tired of these pipelines and
Our first down.
Countries to take over their resources and trying to build pipelines through the middle of countries that don't want the pipeline. It's a big thing. It's a big problem right now. And it's driving economies up and down. It's causing billionaires to become millionaires. And when it starts affecting their pockets, something's got to change. So now we have this big
Take
push,
off
right? This EV thing came. EV still use what? They use
Take our phone to
gas.
get in the door.
They still use fuel. Why? Because when you plug that car in, down the street, the power station is using oil to give you that electricity. And then the infrastructure will never be good enough to house, billions or millions of cars in the U.S. economy. It just won't happen. Just one hurricane in Florida.
Oh man,
it'll
I
be a
could have
nightmare
bounced.
because you won't be able to evacuate. Because when you
I
get
could
to
have
about
bounced.
100 miles away from your house, you got to turn around and go back home, and you can't get in a line to charge your car. The lines will be longer than gas lines.
Yeah.
So it's a nightmare waiting to happen. The push now is going to be all hydrogen. Everything will become hydrogen. All cars, EVs will die. The batteries are not recyclable. The cobalt and the lithium are made with forced child labor, right, in third world countries. Kids literally mining with their bare hands, pulling this ore out of the ground, getting caught in collapses, and mine collapses and dying and everything else. All that's got to come to an end. All we need is for one rogue nation to take over one of these biggest lithium and cobalt mines and hold the world hostage for the cobalt and the lithium, and everything comes to an end, right? The prices will super skyrocket. There'll be a shortage of batteries in cars, and you can't recycle them because Elon Musk made it open source battery. So everyone who created a battery.
Come on, Seven, you gotta get
There's
through
no
there,
one
bro.
mechanism
I'll
or
take my
method
3, but
to take
damn.
these batteries apart and recycle them. So they're filling up in landfills by the thousands, and even in China, there's already millions of landfills, and they're more toxic for the environment than a regular old-fashioned engine, crankshaft.
Yeah.
So it's pretty dangerous stuff, and it's leaching into the water supply. We're drinking this poison and everything else. It's going to shorten our lifespans. They got to get away from that. They're going to go into hydrogen next.
Interesting. What do you think about? You talked about those boxes of that produce energy.
Yeah.
Why do you think this hasn't been replicated?
Well, they have been replicated, but they've been what do you call it? Eminent domained by the government. A lot of people who create these incredible inventions, they don't go about it the right way. They think they're going to be able to patent these items, to patent these inventions, and then put them out and become a billionaire. That's their dream. Well, they're crazy. It's not going to happen. You have to do what Elon Musk did with the battery, right? With the Tesla battery. You have to make it open source and create an industry and just take your fair share of what comes your way. Don't try to become the king of this technology, so you can, 20 generations can be trillionaires. That's the wrong mindset. The right mindset is don't patent it, make it open source, release it to the world, let everybody develop it. Then who are they going to come kill? Everybody?
Yeah.
See, my tech company, we're doing the same thing. We're doing everything open source. Our laboratory ended up closing down because of the whole global
we own him.
that came.
We own him, y'all.
Started firing up. We had an astrophysicist, we had a quantum physicist, and an engineer. But now we're going to restart again in 2024 and redo the lab and get everything cranking up again. But every concept, every idea, every theory, everything we create is all going to be open source.
Good shit.
We're not looking to become trillionaires off of a great idea. We're looking to free the world from its bonds. Mm-hmm. And when you go with that mindset, your abundance is going to be guaranteed because you're operating in the right frequency. You're doing things right. And so everything will be taken care of. All you have to do is just find a way to create these incredible technologies and release them to the world and let everybody have the schematics. And you'll find out that you'll still be able to eat. I guarantee you there's enough abundance for everyone to eat. But people think there's scarcity. There is no scarcity on this planet. It doesn't exist. This universe is abundant in every way you could think of.
I mean, with free energy, doesn't it kind of make the...
Let me cut this light on, y'all.
Whatever currency you're using, almost, I wouldn't say 100% irrelevant, but...
Yeah.
It's
gonna help lead us and guide us into a brand new economy, which has to come at some point. We know that no empire can persist forever.
Here we go.
You'll see that. The Romans, they're gone too, right? Mm-hmm. And so there's this cycle where no matter how big you get, there's always this recycling, this cyclical civilization, rise and fall of governments and everything.
We hit them with some stuff, but we ain't go like deep in our playbook. So you know what I'm saying? That's probably what he or she's thinking.
At some point, it will evolve. These technologies are developed and people are able to get access to free energy and clean water and even the playing field a little bit, You know, I think that the economy will shift. Global economies will completely shift out of what we have right now, where we have a small amount of people. We have less than 100 families controlling 8 billion people.
Oh, good.
Think about that. 8 billion people being controlled by less than 100 families. This is why the aliens don't talk to us directly. I mean, think about it. If I'm a super advanced race, I'm a class, you know, a type 3 civilization or type 2 civilization, and I fly by and I look at the Earth and I see, oh, they got 29,000 nuclear bombs aimed at themselves while they're still on the planet, and 8 billion people are being controlled by this many tiny people, and they can't see how to take back control of their own planet and love one another. Why would I even stop by? So we have to at some point realize this is not the way. Our economy's got to shift. It's got to change. It's probably going to go to a credit-based system, not credit like your credit score, but credits of some type, whether it's through crypto or blockchain technology, some way you have access to, you know, digital wallets. But that your status in society will be how good you are at what you do and how much you help people, and also will eventually harness the power of AI and robotics to free the burden of humanity instead of putting us to become eventually their slaves or maybe even worse. I think when we have the right idea and concept of how to utilize these technologies, that people will be free to travel, explore. If you want to work somewhere, you can work somewhere. There'll be programs set up where if something takes your job like an AI or a robot, you'll be then, your bills have got to be reduced. Your personal responsibilities have got to be wiped out in some way, shape, or form. All this is rough ideas, but something has to be thought through that will
Flip that,
lead us into an
man.
economy and a world where people and human beings can thrive. Because after all, the most important thing is for human beings to thrive, not for a small amount of corporations to thrive.
100% agree with
Gun
that.
spread.
Let's get back to ancient Egypt.
Yeah.
Some of the things that really caught my attention
I think I'm Bill
was
Ware.
we're not just talking ancient Egypt. I had read or saw or heard that from multiple sources that a lot of these
Son of a bitch.
wonders of the world.
Make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all pop in. What's the deal?
The pyramids, Stonehenge. There's probably more.
Oh, yeah.
But I've read that they're all
Pick your
all
play.
these unexplainable ancient structures are all sitting right on top of fault lines. Is there any truth to that?
They're not on fault lines, they're actually on energy grids. And the
What is
majority
an
of them,
energy grid?
an energy grid is where the magnetic field of the Earth whips out of the planet. So a lot of these structures are literally sitting directly on top of these high energy magnetic fields.
Yeah, we on.
So if you
We
take
on.
if you go and get the from USGS.gov and take the Earth's magnetic field
You
map,
6.
and then lay it over a map of like a lot of these megalithic structures, all of a sudden you go, oh my God, they're all sitting on top of like high energy magnetic portals, basically. And what's interesting about that is how in the world did they figure this out? Like, what type of tool do you use
Yes,
to
sir.
measure how much magnetism is whipping out of the Earth here from the core or 100 miles away? How do you distinguish which one is the one, the spot to put it in? They had to have had some level of advanced technology that had the capability. Now we do it through satellite technology. So how in the world we're able to
Ooh,
do
good
it?
fucking
We have a
fight.
satellite that
That's a
orbits
good
the
fight
planet
for
in a
first
total
down, boy.
orbit. It orbits this
Good
way,
shit.
not this way. And as the Earth spins on its axis, it's taking swaths of data. Magnetism, electromagnetic fields, it's taking topographical data and so forth and so on. Minerals and so forth. We know everything that's from a polar orbiting
Well, I thought he was
satellite.
gonna throw it to the other
I
side too,
believe
boy.
That's exactly what was used. Because if you look at the Great Pyramid at Giza, where is it located? Directly at the center of landmass on Earth. Not the center of the Earth, the center of landmass. There's only one way to get that calculation. You have to have a satellite orbiting in a polar orbit, scanning the planet as it spins on its axis to pick up all the topographical data, to be able to calculate the landmass and to find the dead center of the mass of land.
Shit, I guess he
And
gonna
only
use
that,
the whole
of course, it
damn
has one of the biggest
second
magnetic
quarter.
fields coming right out of that spot too. So,
Shit.
dead center, they drop it right there. And then also the Great Pyramid, the height of it matches the average height of all the peaks on Earth. Again, how can you do that? Polar orbiting satellite, as the Earth is spinning, it's calculating all the peaks.
The peak of the pyramid
Yes,
is the average of all the
Mm-hmm.
on Earth.
on Earth.
All the
That
natural
wasn't
peaks on Earth is
smart.
the average height of all
That wasn't
There's so many
smart.
things with the pyramids and these other structures that just, I mean, it's just, I mean, I was taught that
I don't know if
these
he gonna take his 3.
7-ton bricks were
50-50.
they used sticks.
And ropes and mud and elephants. You know, the mud ramp theory had a little. It took over for a little while, but then some real good physicists
It could
said,
spill time as well.
You would need. They did some calculations. You would need more mass than the pyramid in mud to be able to create the mud ramps to put the brick. It just didn't. It didn't add up.
Yeah.
So the mud ramp, you know, and then the lack of
Yeah, he outta here.
and lack of timber and so forth to rolling these, you know.
Yeah, he out of here.
Ton stones in some
He about to
cases
quit,
on
y'all.
top of, wood.
I'm about to make sure of that.
It just sounds crazy.
Yeah.
And when you go to the Serapeum at Saqqara, which is Enki's Halls of Amenti, it's these underground halls that are there. that
Let's
say
see if I can
every
get him
year,
on one of these.
that has this incredible hallway carved out of solid stone underground, and these alcoves are in there, and inside of each
Oh, no.
alcove,
Let's see.
perfectly fitted,
Oh,
tight
yeah.
and snug, are these 60 and 70 ton what look like sarcophagus.
What's
Late juke.
sarcophagus?
What they claim they will put the dead body in, you know.
Okay.
But it's not they're not sarcophagus because there's no dead bodies in them. They're clean. They're actually you can eat off the floor inside.
They're not
of them.
Russian.
I've stood inside of them. They're higher than my head, and I'm 6'4". The lids weigh like 40 tons. But if you read the animal tablets, you discover those were the halls of Amenti, where these beings claim to have rejuvenation chambers. And they would put bodies in them, and they would literally had some type of technology that would transfer their consciousness into a new body when the other one wore out. And they would put the wore out body in these things and let them rejuvenate over time. Sounds crazy, but now modern science is doing the same exact thing. They literally are right now doing the same exact thing, learning how to transfer human consciousness from one body to another. They've even created mind links where they can transfer an active awake person
Oh my
mind
gosh.
into a person
Did y'all
that
see
is
that?
already awake and conscious.
Wait a minute. Who's doing this?
Scientists in the Brain Institute and other laboratories all around the world. They have an experiment, and I'll give you the exact experiment that it was, where they have one gentleman in a room with a blindfold on and his hand on a remote control, a video game in front of him, but he can't see the video game. They have another gentleman in another room who's looking at the video game with no remote control.
Give me that.
Mind
Let's
link between the two and
go.
transfer this guy's mind into the other guy. He's now controlling the other
Let's
guy's hands to
go.
play the video game.
Mix them up.
No way.
Yes.
This is documented.
Documented.
He about to get on out of here, y'all.
Science. I'll send you. And listen, in Russia, the 2045 project, Ray Kurzweil, they've already took a monkey and transferred its consciousness into a computer. That was done in 2010.
Ooh-wee.
In 2000, I think 16 or 17, it was to transfer human consciousness into a robot, which that's been done. In America, we have DARPA. They have the Avatar project. Look that up. The Avatar project. I wrote about it in my book, where they transfer a soldier's consciousness into a field robot, and then the only thing that gets damaged if the robot blows up is the symbiotic link is disconnected through consciousness, but the soldier's obviously not going to die. And so this has all been done. This is real science being actively used right now. By 2045, which is the 2045 project in Russia, they're looking to transfer human consciousness into an actual being, an actual avatar body. You know, so
That nigga almost ran that bitch back, boy.
Put it in a petri dish. They can get it under the right conditions, turn that skin cell into a stem cell, culture that, turn that into a group of stem cells, and then grow that into a full clone of yourself using your own stem cells, and then transfer your mind into your new body.
Whoa. I've never heard this before.
Yeah.
Shit, I ain't never heard that either.
This is real stuff, man.
How do you find this?
Golly.
It just comes to me, you know. When you start going down these paths of research, you become a magnet.
Madden Messiah at work right now, y'all. The Madden Messiah is at work right now.
And then when you look it up and dig deeper into it, obviously some of it's not good. You don't use it, but the stuff that is real, I write about it and I put my source links to it because I want people to know like this is real and you can go look it up yourself.
Wow. What? Let's go back to the pyramids, in all these other wonders of the world.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of these.
Boy, we trying to make that nigga fumble.
The architecture and the strategy to build the buildings seem to be identical in a lot of these places.
Oh yeah.
How do you explain that?
One master architect. If you look at the Emerald Tablets, got to go back to the oldest text that we know of, 38,000-year-old text. Well, they built the Great Pyramid. He said, build an the Great Pyramid patterned after Earth's force so that it too might remain through the ages, and it sure has. So the Great Pyramid is not 4,000 or 5,000 years old. That Great Pyramid is about 38,000 years old. And so is the Sphinx. His father told him to build the Sphinx and put his face on it. And then later on, that face was recarved. This is why the face is not the right size for the body to his nephew's face. But the face was never the face of a lion. But this guy was the master architect. He laid down the blueprint for how to do this. In the Emerald Tablets, he takes a crew with him on the great ship that descends on the land of Chem, rebuilds the land of Chem. He says something very interesting in this text. After spending many years there, they don't specify exactly how many. But they say
That's an interception, y'all. That's a fucking interception.
He tells that crew, that team that came with that original team, to spread out around the world and duplicate what we did here. And all of a sudden, what happens? Pyramids pop up all around the world. Megalithic structures, megalithic temples all around the world, all using the same exact building technique. Thoth himself even leaves Africa, takes Olmecs with him, and leaves his brother Amun-Ra in charge, and he goes to Mesoamerica and builds the Teotihuacan civilization and builds that whole Teotihuacan pyramid complex, which, by the way, is aligned with Orion, the same exact formation as the ones in Africa, at Egypt, right, in Giza. And also what? Built on top of an aquifer. The base of the Pyramid of the Sun is exactly the same size as the base of the
Fuck
pyramid
you thought was about to happen.
in Giza. And the height is exactly 50% the height down to the millimeter of the Great Pyramid at Giza. Again,
Down to the millimeter?
Down to the millimeter. And this is, again, what? One master architect. Again, showcasing his talents and going all around the world. This guy is known everywhere I've gone on the planet. I went to Africa. He's
Get him,
right now.
bitch!
Djibouti. So,
Let's get it!
right, according to the ancient Egyptians, he ruled for 16,000 years, one person. In China, he's Wang Di, the first emperor of China, who came down on a fiery dragon. Sounds like a flying ship. Ruled over to China for decades, for several centuries, and then just got on this flying dragon and disappeared again. In Mexico, he's known as Quetzalcoatl, Lord Pakal, Kukulkan. He comes in on again a what? According to the Mayans, a fiery dragon, and he's there. What he built? Chichen Itza, Teotihuacan, Cobble, all these places were developed. The Mayans didn't build anything. They inherited what was already there. The Aztecs didn't build anything. It was already there. And that's even in their own records. Matter of fact, they didn't even know who the people were originally that built some of this stuff, so they gave them the name Teotihuacan.
Game over. Double G's. Double G's.
I was out in Australia in the outback, in the middle of nowhere. A gigantic petroglyph of who? Thoth, out of Kemet, in Australia, carved into rock in the ground. They call him Thothamabi in Australia. The Aboriginal people call him Thothamabi, and he's on a ship flying through the Milky Way galaxy. That's what it is, a giant disc, and he's sitting on this thing, and they say that's him flying through the Milky Way galaxy. Wow.
That wasn't him. That wasn't him. We gotta back out.
They were built by people, not aliens. In other words, Thoth, in my opinion, wasn't from this planet, and also his relatives, but they had the people doing the labor. They taught the construction techniques, and they had the blueprints on how to do this. They weren't going to get out there themselves and do all this hard labor, but they had the blueprints. They laid out the foundation, and they said, this is how we do it, and we're going to do this all around the entire planet.
I mean, how do you think it was built? I mean, I've had people that I
That nigga lost 9 in a row.
a lot of respect for and know for a fact that they are extremely intelligent individuals. One of them I've had on the show, his name's Chris Beck, and he was talking about the exact same thing: the aquifers, the crystals, the energy, and I mean, he was like, well, how do you move? You know,
how do you
move things?
Yeah,
frequency and vibration.
That's it.
And if you think about it, if I put a subwoofer under a glass top table and I put a brick on it, it's going to move.
It's going to move.
You know, and so do you think, is that how it did? Did they create some type of frequency and vibration? Which
there's a famous Sumerian
Oh my God, it's the same
I'm going to send
nigga.
you a copy of this image. You see an Anunnaki god, you call him a god with a lowercase g, it ain't the God. Okay, we know God is a god for real, but that ain't the God. They call him a god because these people didn't understand. These people had advanced technology. He's sitting on this box. This box has a symbol for magnetism on it. Okay, and this ancient Sumerian tablet. And then, so he's sitting here with this box. There's this tripod thing up in the air, and it's got this disc. Underneath the disc is a gigantic stone table, and there's human beings. You can tell they're human because their height compared to this guy, they're tiny. And a human is picking it up with one hand.
We watching the Royal Rumble tonight, y'all. So
Frequency. You can perfectly match.
we definitely watching the Royal Rumble. WWE tonight. It comes on at 7. So more likely this is probably my last game.
And magnetism in some way reduce the weight of that gigantic stone table.
Depending on how this go, I might get 2 more in. This one and 1 more. We'll see.
I'm going to send you this image. Pretty interesting stuff. So when you now say, well, how do they do all this? Cymatic frequencies and magnetism, electromagnetism and cymatic frequencies, in some way together, they combine those two things to reduce the weight. They didn't make them completely weightless, but they significantly reduced the weight of a lot of the stones. The second thing is, Philip gives away something else in the tablets. He utilizes cymatic frequencies and photons to manifest solid matter. Now that sounds crazy in ancient tablets, but guess what happened 2 years ago in a laboratory in the world we live in right now? Scientists got together and they combined cymatic frequencies and photons, and for the first time ever created solid matter. That's physics.org.
What the fuck?
Wow.
So here we go.
That's crazy.
I believe it was
That nigga straight missed that nigga.
Yeah, and I'll give you the link to all this stuff.
Look, he thinks it's gonna be easy now. See?
The tablets
That's the issue.
by modern science. This is
That's
why
the
I
issue.
go back to the tablets, because wait a minute.
That's
This
the
guy
issue.
says this then, you
See, that'd be the issue. See, when niggas be thinking it's about to be easy and shit, I gotta send a different bliss at they ass. You feel me?
Right? Mobs, and it'll make you stop in your tracks.
And I picked the wrong defense. This is the crazy shit. I picked the wrong defense.
Well, in the Emerald Tablets, those has this group of people coming at him.
I picked the wrong defense too. That's crazy.
He says, I raised my staff and sent out a ray of vibration which stopped them still in their tracks. Sounds like
Let's go and get this pick right here.
Same technology, just a different year. So
Oh yeah, we know what's coming here. We know what's coming here, y'all. What I say? Pick. I said let's get this pick right here. Let's just get this pick right here. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here.
Everything has already been done. We're just rediscovering what we lost.
So I was going through spice samples and I found that.
Dude, appreciate everybody popping in, man. Told y'all, man, the Madden Messiah, bro. We're 4-0 so far. We are 4-0. You did?
Trying to get spun up on all this stuff again. And they talked
Hey, take one. It's better than -2, because that's exactly what's about to happen on that play. Shoot.
However, and they're perfect. I don't know the
I
exact
don't get no fuck, boy. You don't, hey.
The stones are in the perfect metric system.
Yes.
Let's say it's 3 meters by 3 meters. The doorways, perfect metric.
Hit that like button when y'all pop in, man. Don't be one of those. Even drop some comments, too. Shoot. Don't be one of those.
The whole thing.
The metric system wasn't developed for another 2,000 years.
Don't be one of those. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Share the live. Let's go. I got like 1 or 2 more games, depending on how this game go. You dig?
The longitude, it's the same exact digits as the speed of light.
Let's see. Let's see what we do on this play.
How is this possible?
Ooh,
Well,
he's in man.
I said, wait, I gotta
Yeah, we
find some
might
kind
get
of link
this.
to this.
Oops, first down.
Guess what they found in
First down.
Mexico decades ago? They found Proto-Sumerian cuneiform tablets and pottery and everything else. What is Proto, meaning pre-Sumerian, stuff doing in the Americas? But not only did they find that,
There we go. Take 6
it
more.
was a metric system.
Take 6 more.
It
Let's
was a
go.
metric system. So the metric system is thousands, tens of thousands of years old. Forget thousands, tens of thousands of years old. We only rediscovered what already existed, or probably the guy, I forget his name, not a Frenchman who came up with it, probably found these tablets, or the existence of these tablets.
Oh, yeah, we outta here.
Make this whole metric system out of
We
it.
out of here, baby.
It
Let's
already
go.
existed. The metric
We outta here,
system
baby. Let's
is
go.
ancient. We only rediscovered what it was recently. That's all. That's the only thing I can give you.
How about the golden ratio?
Yeah.
What is the golden ratio?
The golden ratio is a specific numeric equation that gives you 3.17. It gives you the Fibonacci spiral. It also
The Fibonacci spiral.
The golden rectangle and the golden triangle, which no matter which way you look at them, you can always get the perfect spiral to fit inside.
That's
And that spiral,
crazy,
for
bro.
whatever reason, because that spiral is in everything that's in life,
Do y'all hear
it's
this?
very beautiful to us. So the
That's
most
crazy.
magnificent structures were always set on the Fibonacci spiral or pi, right? And so even the Great Pyramids are pi. All these magnificent
I had to do that because it might have went out of bounds. No, he ran that bitch out.
Our fingers, if you take your fingers and look at the space between your digits, you will get pi. And you can get the Fibonacci's code based on the space in the digits of your own hand.
Pistol.
The distance from your eyes to your nose, the distance from your top, in between your eyebrows to the tip of your nose, all this is all the same thing.
Play action.
The distance from your elbow to your wrist,
Oh.
the distance from the wrist to the tip of your middle finger, it's all pi.
Bro, what the fuck? Y'all let this nigga get 8 yards?
Designed on that.
Come on, bruh.
You can
We let this nigga get 8 yards though, bruh.
If you calculate the distance in the space in between
Nigga
your
is
digits and your
7
elbows and your joints and everything else, I'll send you a diagram.
pounds.
You'll get the Fibonacci sequence built into the human avatar body itself. It's in everything.
Exactly, nigga.
I mean, I don't
We gonna call the perfect plays, but I don't know what the fuck this nigga thinking. Hopefully we continue.
Yes.
Shit.
When you calculate
We gonna open it up a little.
Fibonacci spiral, or allows you to place the Fibonacci spiral inside of anything. All right. And so when you start creating these calculations and you start doing
Got 'em.
measurements of these distances, you start finding out that they fit perfectly with that number, and that you can get the Fibonacci sequence
They ain't
built
playing.
into the human avatar body. And I'll give you a complete diagram so you can see how it all breaks down.
Okay. I just want to figure it out right now because my mind's blank. So, I mean, obviously the distance from my eye to the middle of my, whatever this is, nose,
Yes, right.
you
Top
know,
of the nose, yeah.
is completely different than from my elbow to my wrist.
Right, but there's a ratio, and when you apply this specific ratio, you'll find that this is the reason why this is this distance.
That was
is the average
smart.
distance,
Shit,
and
I ran a man anyway, so
in other words, they can calculate based on how many
it is what it is.
inches or millimeters or centimeters. It comes out to be a perfect when they
Oh,
break
man.
the boxes and connect.
If you don't run this, it's an
it comes out to be
interception.
like the golden rectangle, the golden triangle, and you can put the Fibonacci sequence right
Yeah,
inside of it.
that ain't gonna
The
keep
Fibonacci
working.
spiral right inside
That
of
ain't
them.
gonna keep
When they
working.
begin to make all the connections, like connecting dots, all of a sudden everything fits perfectly. And like I said, so in other words, if I take the distance,
Hit that like button when y'all pop in, y'all. Hit that like button. Don't be one of those. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. Drop a comment. Let's go. The Madden Messiah is at work right now. We are 4-0. We've been grinding. Probably got 1, maybe 2 more games after that shit. I am on Royal Rumble tonight. I'm watching WWE. You did straight like that.
Is actually part of fractals. So we're living in a fractal-based universe. Everything is a fractal of something else, something bigger, something grander. But also, it's also a fingerprint. So the fingerprint of God is the Fibonacci sequence. It's the evidence that we're living in a creation and we also are created.
Interesting.
Billy Carson. That's who y'all listen to right now.
Back in.
All right.
I've spent more time than I would like to admit researching, testing,
Good shit.
trying to find the
4 from
perfect
5. No matter what it is, shit. 4 from 5 is still a tough.
And basically that's
It's still a tough get. He ain't about to run that bitch again. I can guarantee y'all that.
from 14 years of combat operations as a Navy SEAL and a CIA contractor. My back's just shot. No matter what mattress I use, I wake up, I can't move, takes me about 5 minutes just to loosen up the bend.
Good shit. Good shit. Good shit.
And then
Motherfucker.
a friend of mine told me about Helix mattresses. So I went to the website. Turns out they got a quiz you take. You take the quiz, and then they make a recommendation out of the 20 mattresses they have in stock. Mine was the Midnight Lux, and bam, had it shipped.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
By the way, but
Blend them up.
slept on it
Blend them up.
first night. Slept like a baby. Complete game changer. Another thing I like about Helix mattresses is they have the enhanced
I like this,
cooling
man. I like this
feature
little play.
that keeps you from overheating.
That's why I be.
We've all used mattresses where you wake up, especially these memory foam ones, right? You wake up and you're sweating.
Oh, I pushed the wrong. Oh my God, y'all. I pushed the God. I pushed RB and down, bro. When I was, oh my God, I was trying to fucking push my defensive end to stay out, dog. Oh my God, that was so dumb. Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
This is their best offer yet, and it's not going to take long. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
Oh my God, y'all. Oh my God, he's happy as hell right now.
And they'll do your taxes for you.
Fuck out of here, bro. I did not be. Hey. And look, I don't even got my defense. Oh my gosh, I don't even got my defensive line and shit ready. Look, when you think about doing onside kick, players stop.
Right now. But despite all the evidence, I can't tell you what's going to happen for sure. Nobody can. Yet when it comes
I did not mean to put.
That's why I partnered with Gold.
That was so dumb. That was so dumb, y'all. That was funny as hell. Oh my gosh.
The kit shows you how to defend your money with precious metals and
That's how you gonna kick it? Okay. Who is this nigga? Fuck does he think he is? Kicking to me like that, boy. You know what I'm saying? Fuck does he think he?
So go to SeanLikesGold.com or call 855-936
Uh-oh.
now.
Uh-oh. This might be a game changer.
Professional before making an investment decision.
This discussion is blowing my mind here. But I wanted to talk to you about CERN, too. So, is CERN learning anything from ancient Egypt?
Yeah.
CERN being, can you describe what CERN is?
Sure. CERN is the LHC, the Large Hadron Collider. It's the largest machine in the world, located in Switzerland. And it's all
There you go. Still gonna get your one. Still gonna get about one on game.
And they send atoms in opposite directions and speed them up to, a percentage of the speed of light, and then let them collide. And then they analyze the collision to see.
It's all about fucking up, though. You keep fucking up, you gonna do that shit like that. So
everything else that they discover. But something else they discover in the process is that they create microscopic.
oh man, this nigga tripping.
Now, really? Yeah. So originally, a lot of people were getting scared about this because they were like, "Man, if you guys create a black hole here on Earth, will it suck the
Yes,
Earth?"
sir. 2-minute warning. Let's get to the 2-minute
Black holes are
warning.
supposed to be pretty deadly things. Even light can't escape them. So why create one here on Earth? But I think, in my opinion, again, this is nothing that I've read, but my hypothesis is that part of the work going on at CERN is to learn how to create stable wormholes. What Einstein and Rosen called an Einstein-Rosen bridge, where you take space and you fold it and make a hole, punch a hole in between to make a connection, a shortcut through space-time. And so it could be learning or
Hey, yo, man, what's good? Who in here? I see a few people in here watching. What's good? Who this? Who y'all? Who y'all is, man?
Biggest thing is holding it open.
Hold on. Can you
Don't be one of those.
I'm slow. So, I don't have a degree in astrophysics, and I don't have anything from MIT or Harvard. So you're talking about you're folding.
What's good? What's good?
So I'm envisioning.
Yeah. You take a piece of paper.
Dr. Greer kind of showed me this.
Yeah, you just bend it like this.
Bend it like
And
this.
if you had a pencil, you could poke a hole right through. So you can go from point A to point B.
Oops, stop and go. Yeah, get the fuck on out there, bro. Shit, I don't care. Shit, you ain't about to spectate and shit. Get your ass on out of here.
Okay.
Shit, like that should be making a nigga sad or some shit. That shit don't make a nigga sad. Get the fuck out. Shit, you just helping me out. Shit. Let's be clear. When y'all niggas come in and come out, that shit don't hurt me, motherfuckers. Alright? Just because I tell you motherfuckers to say to drop something in the chat and don't be one of those, shit. That's exactly what the fuck I mean. Don't be a fucking weirdo. Shit. That shit weird as fuck, man. Y'all niggas weird as fuck. You just come in here and shit. Other gamer streamers too. Shit, y'all niggas want to come in here and just spectate and shit, just so y'all niggas go back to y'all channel to talk shit. Maybe. Or just to come in here and just to, you know what I'm saying, watch nigga plays and shit, and then go at them shit, which is cool. Do what you do. But bitch, we calling shit out. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. Bro, I just played was 0-3, nigga. Bro, I just played was 0-3. You did? Just hit that fucking like button. You did? Hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? Shoot. You know, that's just what it is. You know, let's get back to some shit. You know, we got shit 6:44. Shit, let's get one more in.
On how to create a wormhole or what a wormhole would be, how it would operate, how it would work. The biggest problem that we
Actually, hold up. Let me check I got 10 messages or something. Let me check. Yeah, man. Hold on, y'all. I'm texting. I got text messages and shit. Hold up. Oh, we keep that shit playing, though. We ain't gotta.
we have is not creating a wormhole, not because we can create them, but how do you keep it open? How do you make it stable for something to pass through without collapsing? Now, NASA recently discovered something called X points around Earth and also around the sun. These are naturally occurring portals that open and close every single day, all around the outside of our planet. The Themis satellite system discovered these portals a few years back, and they've been analyzing and watching them. Some of them create direct pathways to the sun.
All right, let's get some shit in
our solar system. So these are called X points. They exist all around the outside of our planet. They're where magnetic diffusion points hit and cross, like our magnetic fields hit and cross. In some way, combining that crossing with electromagnetic fields with charged particles from the sun opens up a portal. So portals naturally can occur in nature. You don't have to make them artificial.
Got another San Fran team.
All we have to do now is learn how to harness that power, and we can travel through space. We can go great distances without having to put ourselves in hibernation pods and things like that. Mm-hmm. But now what's interesting is you look at some of the pyramid structures and also read the ancient texts. If you go to one of the Sumerian tablets, they talk about having something called a Du-Ran key. It was called a bond heaven earth. And Enlil talks about walking from his home world directly to Earth and walking from Earth directly back to his home world, bypassing even getting in a spaceship. You go fast forward a little bit more, the ancient Egyptians talk about something called a Jed pillar Ankh. They have a Jed connected to the inside of an Ankh. People think the Ankh was like for decoration or represented rebirth and the womb of a woman and all that. It kind of did. Nowadays it's just decoration like jewelry. But it also represented something more technological in the ancient times. When you go to the super ancient texts, you discover that Ankh and that Jed were a oscillator that would resonate to the atomic frequency of the owner. That was the code programmed into the actual Ankh. The actual portal that they would walk through to travel wherever they were going, it would only let you walk through it if your frequency was programmed into the portal. That was your key. Without walking through with that, you would be obliterated. That's how they kept people from just getting into these portals. Only the elite of the elite had access to these portals to travel all around the world.
The elite of the elite, y'all.
Mexico, where though the Atlantean who came from Africa over there, he would stand there, and this looks like an indentation.
Did y'all see that move I put on them? Oh my gosh. Did y'all see that move I put on that nigga? Stop playing with me. Bitch, I'm the one, not the two. I am telling y'all niggas that.
He would have the
shit.
In his hand. Then you look at Bosnia in Europe.
Look at this move.
Pyramid there called the Pyramid of the
Oops.
Sun, just like the one
Drop that nigga, dog. Fuck that nigga thought it was about to happen.
Bosnia called the Pyramid of the Sun. It's massive. In this valley, there's like 5 massive pyramids, all covered with brush and trees and debris. Well, they started digging this thing out. They said, "Oh my God, these are solid stone blocks." There's tunnels underneath that are connecting the pyramids. The same exact tunnels that are in.
Like I said, y'all, this the last game of the night. Then we gonna watch. We watching WWE, and then we back on Call of Duty later.
It says we must stand in defense until we can open the gate. Well, what gate are they talking about?
Might do some Black Ops though.
The Stargate, to get from wherever they were to get out of this war. There was a war going on. Again, that second pyramid war.
This from Black Ops.
It was a global war. It wasn't only global; it was interplanetary as well, because it went to the moon and also to Mars. But that's probably going to be another podcast. But the evidence of it is available in scientific data. But this K2 megalith, this gigantic crystal, it has something to do with activating the portal at this Pyramid of the Sun in Bosnia, which at some point they were defending it and trying to
sit on top of this.
Getting access to it.
Sit on top of
So
this.
they can get it activated so they can
Sit on top of this.
Pretty interesting stuff.
Game over.
Well documented. The K2 megalith.
Game over.
Crystal. So CERN
Game over.
is researching and learning about technologies that already existed. Again, we're just rediscovering everything. When you go to CERN, right outside the front door is this gigantic picture of this Indian god that is standing inside of a portal.
The defense is getting more and more deadly, y'all. I ain't gonna lie to y'all.
I think they kind of knew what they were going to be doing when they started this whole building and started this whole project.
Take your one. Take your one. Don't matter. It's not negative.
And they only released tidbits of information as to what's going on. There was something interesting before we go on. There was a field trip of sorts where they let the tour to let people come in and look around. And as one person was looking around, they saw these gigantic.
What's good, y'all? What's happening? Pop in, hit that like button.
And I have a picture of them leaning up.
Shit, even if it's for a second, pop in. Say something in the comments. I don't get no fucks, to be honest with you.
They sent these hieroglyphs out. Everyone, including I, sent the hieroglyphs out.
Shit, you know
Nobody
what I'm saying?
deciphered these hieroglyphs.
Show some
Nobody
love.
knows what in the world these are, what they mean, where they came from, who wrote them, what writing, what ancient culture are they linked to. Nobody knows. Massive, giant, clear plates leaning up against the machine. I think there were 4 of them, if I remember correctly. Pretty interesting. I just thought that was a weird thing that to happen there. But they have at the front door, a gigantic portal, a representation of a portal with one of these ancient Indian gods walking through it.
What do you think they're doing with these mini black holes that you think that they're creating?
All
If they
experiments.
documented this?
Yeah, they have. They have, yeah. People were trying to stop them from doing it because they were going to.
That's what his ass get, bro. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate everybody popping in, man. Hit that like button, drop some love. Don't be one of those. That's that's the motto all year. Don't be one of those. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you a gamer. You did? Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Especially if you a gamer. Right now, I'm giving y'all game right now. This is Billy. You dig? Y'all need to do y'all homework on who this man is. You know what I'm saying? Billy Carson. You know what I'm saying? Shit. This is a great conversation. We've been in it for about 1 hour and 18 minutes. You know what I'm saying? If you in here, like I say, man, even if it's for 5 seconds, hit that like button. Drop some love. You feel me? Because, you know what I'm saying? We will get you the fuck on out of here quick. Quick. With the quickness. You know what I'm saying? Shit. But, like I always say, man, the people that is in here right now, shoot, that's the ones we want to continue to fuck with. You hear me? Shoot. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love. Dig? Let's get back to it, man. This nigga about to quit. Don't even trip, y'all. This nigga about to quit.
When we inject into one of these holes,
Oh shoot.
that will stabilize it, maybe even expand it. And where do they lead? Where do they go? Like when we go through them, where will we end up? Maybe they're sending small probes through or things through to take a look. Maybe they're sending nano probes into them. Who knows?
What do you think about this? Are you for this? You against this? What do you think?
This type of research.
I don't know. This nigga don't go, man. This is the touchdown.
To me, is scary stuff, man.
Oh, he ain't man. He ain't man. That's smart.
I do
That's
believe
smart.
in
That's smart.
life in other worlds and also life in even other dimensions.
That's smart. That's smart.
We
That's
know
smart.
that
That's
based
smart.
on theoretical physicists like Michio Kaku and many other well-respected physicists, that we're living in a universe based on 11 dimensions. They theorized based on the mathematics that without 11 dimensions, this universe would collapse. Okay?
Okay, so can you... I have a tough time wrapping my head around different dimensions
Right.
as well.
Yeah.
I've talked to a couple different people that broke it down fairly well for me. I would like to hear you...
You're probably gonna be mad at this play right here.
What is a dimension?
Yeah. Well, dimension is a realm that exists at a different frequency. So right now, we're in the
Yes,
third
sir.
dimension. We only can control the first.
You gotta go to CD, right? On
The second
third.
dimension is connected lines.
Get him involved.
And because we're in the third dimension, we're like the God over the second and the first. We can control and manipulate those dimensions from the outside. If people were living in those dimensions, like one-dimensional people or two-dimensional people, they would be at complete
Game
loss
over.
of what
He
our
about to quit.
capabilities were, because they first of all, they wouldn't be able to see us as a third-dimensional being. All they would see is the manipulation of their environment. They would wonder what's going on. All right, so that's kind of power we would have. Now, extrapolate fourth dimension. The fourth dimension used to be said it was time. It's not time. That's just a hypothesis that Einstein was trying to correlate time to the third. The fourth dimension is a tesseract, a fourth dimensional hypercube. From the fourth dimension,
Damn, I almost
and
missed
all the
that.
way up, things change completely. So we're in the third. Somebody in the fourth dimension, an entity in the fourth dimension, can see into everything.
Damn, he's still on the game still,
And
man.
watch us sitting here right now. All right, they can see the past, present, and future all at the same time.
You gotta get interception for him to quit.
You greeted me.
It's
You
a
know,
terrible
they would see
kick,
that.
bro.
In another room, they would
Oh,
see
he ain't
us
gonna run it
taking
out.
photos, and then in this room, they would see us doing this interview, but they would see all three things happening at the same time. It's like having a house and living different parts of your life at the same time in different years in the same house, right? And then above that, you have the fifth, sixth, seventh. Now, these dimensions are compactified, and yes, that's an actual real word, compactified. Yeah, look it up, guys. Whoever's looking, look up the word. They're stacked so tight on top of each other that they're like a Planck unit of distance away from this universe, right? And now, the only way to get into one is to move into a right angle at a different frequency. You have to obtain the subatomic frequency of that dimension. So if there are beings in higher dimensions that have developed the ability to understand and get the actual subatomic
Get that ball,
frequency
bro.
number of the third dimension in this universe, they can theoretically walk from their universe or their dimension directly into ours.
What do you mean the frequency?
Okay. Every universe has a specific frequency. Every dimension in that same universe also has a frequency. Every atom resonates at a specific frequency. Nothing ever rests. Everything is always vibrating. At the subatomic level, we know that when you dig deep into the nucleus of an actual atom, what's in there is a tiny vibrating string. So we're living in a symphony of music, and the music that's jingling and making this noise is creating the illusion of physicality, the illusion of solidity, even the illusion of distance, which doesn't even exist. And so that's what we're living in. Now, if I can obtain, for example, let's say there's a cancer tumor in a person's body. The cells in that cancerous tumor are now operating or vibrating at a specific resonant frequency. We know this for a fact. If I have a device that actually can match the frequency of that tumor, I can send a cancellation frequency to that tumor.
Don't be
Talking
dumb.
about a Rife machine.
Something like a Rife machine. I can destroy it without
Touch
destroying
me
the
on.
surrounding tissue, right? So
Touch me on the line.
imagine having the capability of now understanding on a more grand scale, a dimension, fifth dimension, like somebody there obtains the frequency
Dummy.
of the third dimension.
He had nowhere to
and
throw.
just come right on through. This could be some of the reason for paranormal activity and things like that. It could be entities or beings having a peek into our world, into our dimension. It might not be anything scary at all, in some cases. Will it scare us? Maybe, yeah, because we can't perceive them as to what they truly appear and look like, but it could be a higher dimensional being coming to have a look around. They could be on vacation. I mean, theoretically,
Step into Wix Studio, the new web creation platform built for agencies, where creative freedom and absolute efficiency.
I don't know who the hell's going to come on vacation to this world, buddy, but,
It's something to look at. This is a reality show. Okay,
Yeah.
we're on season 2023. That's just the way it is, man.
Yeah. It's so there's 11 frequencies.
11 dimensions.
Who came up with this?
Oh, big-time theoretical physicist, Michio Kaku, Professor James
Cool.
Gates Jr., many other supersymmetry experts. And then, now, I've been talking about the fact that if there's 11 dimensions, that our mind connects to also 11 dimensions for over a decade. And if you go back and look at some of those old posts, people were calling me a kook, a crazy, a tinfoil wearing hat, pseudoscientist, blah, blah, blah. Well, 2 years ago, scientists at the Brain Institute discovered that the human mind connects to what? 11 dimensions. So now, my theory was accurate, science has proved it, and theoretical physicists say that there are 11 dimensions. So our minds, our consciousness is multi-dimensional. And everything that exists in the third dimension that we had we took part in creating, it started all in the multi-dimensional platform. So this chair that we're sitting in right now, a person thought about this chair first.
Nigga, he out of here.
Manifested a solid
He out of
matter.
here, y'all. He like,
Thought
oh,
about
how does
the
this keep happening?
platform, higher dimensional thinking, the original platform before all these other platforms came out. And in that realm, it existed and was constructed in a higher dimension. Then what happens is,
Come on,
the person
man.
who was
Get on
thinking
out of here, bro,
about
so I can
creating
watch
chair
this.
Collapsed it from multi-dimensions into 2 dimensions. How? By drawing it on a piece of paper. Then it went from there probably into a computer nowadays, which is the CAD, computer assisted design, which is still 2D, even though it gives you the illusion of 3D in the computer. All computer screens are just 2-dimensional objects. And from there, it gets sent, now the data from it gets sent to an engineer who now crafts it into a 3-dimensional object
Bang!
to maneuver in XYZ axis in space-time.
Nigga, don't press up on me ever in your life. Fuck wrong with you, nigga.
It was created
Fuck
in
wrong with this
multi
nigga,
dimensions
pressing me.
and then collapsed into a 3-dimensional structure that we're sitting on right now.
Very interesting. Very interesting. Let's talk about. I got a whole list of stuff to talk about with it. Let's talk about the Book of Enoch.
Oh man, Book of Enoch, powerful book. You know that Enoch was a real powerful man because he's talked about in the Bible. Yet his book is not in the Bible. It was left out by accident on purpose. And the reason why is because he's talking about, and he calls these beings by their names, beings that were not from Earth, that came here from up above and engaged mankind. They taught us how to build weapons. They taught us about perfume and makeup. They taught us how to make jewelry and beer and all this other crazy stuff, right? So these beings were physical, corporeal beings. They actually, at some point, even went to war with humans against other humans, putting on clothing and getting swords and everything else. They were having sex with humans. So these weren't like the angels that we're thinking with the fluffy wings, and these were people. I think there was a misconception in some cases as to what is an angel and what is a person based on the level of technology and the consciousness of those beings. I think that the people were...
Yes, sir. 21-0 right now, y'all. He should not be trying to come back, bro. Like I say, nigga, this supposed to be the last game. He should have been gone. I respect, bro, for keep playing, but damn, this enough is enough.
Gave Enoch an appointed date that they were going to take him into space to go meet the man.
Enough is enough, brother.
Enoch is well, he's a...
Hit that like button, y'all. Hit that like button. Drop some comments. Let's get it. Appreciate everybody popping in and out, y'all. Popping in and out, man. Real niggas.
His father was a god with a lowercase g, and his mother was a human being.
Like button, like button, like button. Let's get it.
How mythological is that? We can't really understand it. But he was special. He had offspring. He had a family. And these beings that came to visit gave him an appointed date that he would be taken away from Earth. And so he got taken away from Earth, and he then describes the shape of the Earth, the size, the color, everything from space.
Niggas became a content dummy.
He's then brought back at some point in the future. He went away for a while, then comes back. He left the I guess his estate to his kids, his sons. So they were waiting for him to leave, and they was also waiting for him to come back. This was planned. It wasn't like some mystical thing. In the Bible, it seems as if he just disappeared from Earth and he was taken into heaven and never came back. But that's not the case. In the Book of Enoch, you find out he was brought back. Pretty interesting. But also, what's interesting about Enoch is he came back with some advanced knowledge and understanding about construction techniques.
Okay.
So all of a sudden, this guy understands and knows how to build megalithic structures. Who taught him this information? Wherever he went, he became
that his stick on his bitch ass.
They brought him back, and he had this knowledge and this wisdom. There's only one Bible that exists with the full book of Enoch in the same Bible, and that's the Ethiopian Bible. It's a really, really old Bible. Long before the Sinai Bible, long before the King James Version, out of Ethiopia, right where actually a lot of the Jewish people are.
Ain't got nothing to lose. Go ahead and go for it.
I'm going to go see them next year when I go down to the Lalibela Temples, which is a mountain that was carved into a temple from the outside going in, just like Abu Simbel and Petra Jordan. And so...
Oh, yeah, perfect play call, Jay. Perfect play call, Jay. It's a perfect play call, Jay. Perfect play call. Watch this. Watch this. Stay outside. Stay outside. Stay outside. Told y'all perfect play call, y'all. Let's get him the fuck on out of here, y'all.
Why do you think Enoch was chosen?
Yeah, I already knew it. Y'all. Let's get him the fuck on out of here. Already, y'all. Appreciate everybody. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got to check out. Let's see. We got to check out his record. I think that put me on the 10-game winning streak. So we're gonna try to get to 20. I think 19 straight is my high. So we're gonna try to get to 20. Probably tomorrow or later tonight. Shit, I ain't going out tonight, so I'm chilling. He's 28, 25. Shit, he needs some work. He needs some work. We 103.13. They go to gamer tag, y'all, if y'all want it. J Money 4657. You dig? Let's get it. Get it while it's getting good. 103.13. We won 11 straight. My bad. We won 11 straight. All right, my bad. Won 11 straight. You know what I'm saying? Shit, last time I got my shit pushed back by this nigga by 1 point, y'all. 27-26 or some shit. It was 1 point, bro. I was so pissed. Nigga. So pissed. We gonna have to call this nigga out right here. We gonna have to call this nigga out. Already, y'all. Shit, I'm about to get on this. I'm about to go watch this Royal Rumble. You did. Until next time.
We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine. She said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. 365, 365. I do not care what haters say. I do not care. They love tomorrow, but hate today. They love to hate. And they love to borrow, but hate to pay. Love to shoot, don't catch a fade. Yeah, 365, we grind all year. We don't waste time, we grind, oh yeah. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. Maybe we ride. 365, 365. We be outside. 365, 365. Maybe we ride.
pitching. Man, I've been pitching. Gotta understand the vision. Ooh, it's a distance. You wanna tag me for some likes, but don't get no mentions. All my life I had to fight for all 4 inches. Said I stack up, gotta stack up, get my racks up, back up, better back up, keep that thing tucked, act up. If he act up, we gon' all rush 40 cal with the 50 round drum. Yeah, it's us. If he fuck with the family, then he better stand up. Yeah, we all in the streets with our fucking hands up. When it comes to the beach, yeah, we slice it all up. We don't fuck with police, yeah, they scared of us.
We grind all year. We don't waste time. We grind all year. We be outside, all black, oh yeah. Told her she's mine, she said, oh yeah. 365, 365.